welcome to Hedgehog Hollow's catalogue launch. Welcome back. So today we're going to be looking at another one of the carryover sets, but with some new accessories. And that's the Balloon Celebration set on page 24, which is here. Now this is the beautiful sample they've made, and this is actually with the gold designer acetate, which if I just flick to the back, I know I've done before. Mine's still somewhere in the UPS van on its way, so it's here, this fabulous foil designer acetate, which we will use lots of, don't worry. But a friend wanted me to make this card for them for a special birthday present, and I didn't have all the supplies, and it was something that's actually really keen to show you in this series, was that you don't necessarily need to have everything that they use in the catalogue to be able to make an absolutely fabulous sample. So this is my sample, and I've used the Pop of Paradise or Pop of Pink designer series paper on the side here with the lovely spots. And I'm also going to show you how to blacken it like we did the other day, so that you could have some black paper here exactly the same way. So I was really keen to show you how to do that. So I've got all my bits and pieces here, and we're going to launch into this one. So let me just pop this to the side. And I just realised I need to trim down one of my pieces here. So just give me 2 seconds to do that. We had a bit of disaster last night with the paper cutter, so it's not functioning so well this morning as one of the pieces have fallen off. So I have ordered a new one. There we go. So I'm going to pop my paper cutter, knock myself out around the head with it. So the first thing we want to do is I'm going to show you how to blacken this again in case you didn't see the other day. So this is my little sample of a blackened piece. So the first thing we want to do is grab our sponge dauber and grab our basic black ink. And what we're going to do is just dot down. We're going to dot to the side, and now we're just going to go all over and work our way down the piece. Now what I love about this technique is you can make it into any colour. And a lot of the papers this year, we've got some where you can just roll your brayer over and make them into different colours. They're great too. We've got some like this that have the lovely foiled effect, which you can leave as white, or you can colour in with any colour. So there's lots of items this year that are very easy to customise depending on what colour combinations you like. And I do love this gold foiling. And these bits of paper with the gold foil on are thicker than the normal DSP that you'll be used to working with. They're far more of a cardstock weight. So just to note that when I pick up ink off my pad, I'm just daubing down over here so that I don't get a big black splodge. And it just gives me a really nice even blend over my paper. So I've blackened this one down. And as I said to you on my sample, I didn't. Now you'll be able to see, if I bring it close up, you've got some streaks over the foiling. So the foiling's not as bright as it should be, or could be, I should say. So I'll just close that up for a second. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just grab a piece of kitchen towel, and I'm going to buff it up. And I think you can probably see the difference from a distance. If I bring that up, you can see how shimmery that is again, and this is a little bit on my towel there. And if you don't do it quickly, as in if you daubed and then left it for, say, half an hour, you will find that because it's archival ink, it will dry and you won't be able to wipe it off the foiling. So just make sure you do that step at the same time. Okay, so that gives you our 2 pieces like so. Now the next thing I want to do is I've got a card base. This is half a piece of A4, and I'm going to fold that in half. Let's just pick up a little bit of, fold it the other way so you can't see that. And I'm going to grab my bone folder to give me a nice crisp fold, like so. And I'm going to stick these 2 pieces down. So the first thing I'm going to do is stick my black piece down with my snail. Okay. And then I'm going to stick this is Soft Sky. And I haven't taken measurements, but let me just do that for you. So that's a 5 1/4 inch by 2 1/2. And as ever, they will be on the blog post, which is linked either to the side or below the video, depending how you're viewing it. So that's our basic setup of our card. So we're doing really well. So let me just grab what we're copying. So the next thing we want to do is we're going to do our balloon, because everything then kind of works around the balloon. So for that I used a piece of A4, and we want to take our Versamark pad, stamp down like so. Oh, I haven't forgotten my embossing buddy. Just take off any static. Stamp that one down. And I want my gold embossing powder, my piece of scrap, which is just here, slightly out of reach. Stick underneath first. So now, if you've never done embossing before, I notice it's actually a technique I've been using a lot recently. So if you're viewing this through the blog, or you want to use the blog link, you'll find I'm doing one of our tutorial series today. So it's a bonus day of 2 videos on how to heat emboss with embossing powder. And as I mentioned the other day, we've got another one of the tutorial videos coming up for you, and that's going to be on heat embossing but with heat and stick powder, so look out for that one. And then you use your heat tool, so it's sort of I don't know how to describe it, a very powerful hairdryer, shall we say, and it gets incredibly hot, so just be careful. Turn it on. If I hold this up to the camera, you might be able to see how it changes from a powder you see how that's changing from powder. Now you do have to be careful. There we are, so it's now all shimmery. The only thing I would say is just be careful, because firstly, when you finish, this is incredibly hot. Your heat tool will be incredibly hot, so be careful where you put it. I tend to put it on one of these Stampin' Up silicone mats. And also, if you keep heating and heating and heating, which is a completely different technique, you will end up remelting it, and it just becomes a puddle, which is not what we want for this technique. What we do want to do is trim this off with a little bit to spare, because we're going to punch out our balloon. We want to pop it inside the punch, line it up, and we've popped out our balloon like so. I'm just going to pop that one to the side. So then I'm going to lay on our balloon. And the next thing I want to do is our sentiment. That's the thing I wanted to just draw your attention to that I noticed on the sample. Is there was like a yellow undertone to it. And this was the best way I found out how to do it. So we'll do that bit next. So we want to come and sit together and drink some coffee. And I'm just going to stamp that off and make sure it's clean. Yep. So I'm going to start with some So Saffron. I'm going to ink up. And the great thing about, of course, the photopolymers is I can see exactly what I'm doing. So I've stamped that down. I'm just going to give this a little clean next to me. And now I'm going to use the basic black pad. I'm just going to offset it very, very slightly, and excuse if my head comes in now, and also the cable for my microphone. My little wireless box is broken. I'm only offsetting it very, very slightly, but you can see there, you can see the yellow little piece underneath, and I think that looks really nice. And then I'm inking up my Come Let's Sit Together and Drink. I'm sorry, the cable keeps creeping in, I noticed today. I'll sort that out ready for the next video while we wait for our new wireless one to arrive. And then what I've got here, let's take these off that are waiting to be used in a second. So this is our long thin balloon cord, and I'm going to stamp that next to our Let's Drink Coffee, like so. Now I'm going to get rid of that one, and I'm going to do our bow on the top, like that. And I'm going to actually just stamp it and just below the top of the string, like that. And I'm going to take a dimensional onto the back of our balloon, and I've got one over here. There we go. And I'm going to stick that one down. There we are. And then the next thing I'm going to do is do our tone on tone stamping. So let me grab one of my blocks. And for that I'm going to be using the Soft Sky, exactly the same as this colour, so that we just get the little hint of it. And this is the little wheel, I'll bring that up so you can see it, of spots. You can actually put it inside a balloon, you can do all sorts of things with it. And I'm just going to stamp a few of them. Like that. And then in the sample they actually used quite a few of the different elements, but I decided to just stick to wheel and stars for a birthday. There we go. And that is your card done. Then the only thing I will do on this one is just I will pop something on the inside of the card, just so that it's really nice and easy for my friend to write on. But apart from that, that's your card finished. Let me just grab the white version so you can compare. And there we are. So happy stamping, and join us again for tomorrow for another tutorial. And tomorrow is actually going to be some 3D wrapping, which is really, really pretty. And I hope you'll also check out our tutorial on heat embossing. See you then. Bye.